All right, we are live, guys. What is going on? This is the Club of the Man, 1993, coming at you for tonight's live stream. A live review, once again, of SmackDown Live, the March 13th, 2018 episode of SmackDown Live. And for those of you who've heard also, today is also the 25th anniversary of the blizzard of 1993. We got, well, up here we got a little bit of snow up here today, but nothing really that much at all. But of course, I wasn't alive quite yet because I was born 6 months later. But yeah, so as you remember, it's 25 years to that. But also, we are now, speaking of number 25, up added that by one. And we were talking about the number 26, as we were 26 days away from WrestleMania 34. And tonight's episode of SmackDown Live, and Hassan said, "What's up? What's up, buddy? How you doing tonight?" Saw your review of the Dexter's Laboratory episode, which is, gotta say, was a pretty darn good episode. He definitely talked about there. And he says, "I live in Florida. It doesn't snow here, except it did once, but I wasn't born yet." Aren't you lucky, buddy? You got a lot of warm weather all the time here. But yeah, the blizzard '93 was 6 months before I was born, so I didn't witness that, except for trick or treating that year. It snowed on Halloween, so I wasn't able to go trick or treating that year, sadly, unfortunately. But with that being said, though, let's get into again. And we're 26 days away from WrestleMania, and we had the Fallout episode from Fastlane tonight on SmackDown Live. Now, a lot of people kept saying, including myself, kept saying that SmackDown Live needs to, definitely capitalize and give us a good start to the build to WrestleMania. Did it succeed in that? I'd say for the most part it did. I thought tonight's episode of SmackDown definitely better than what we've been getting for the past month or so due to the horrible build, well, the subpar build for Fastlane, which still ended up being a passable show. I'll give it to the Fastlane didn't completely, suck. But with that being said, tonight's episode definitely took some things to the next level. Most of the stuff I liked. Of course, there's something I did not like. We'll get into that. But overall, I'd say we got a pretty good episode of SmackDown tonight. So if you're in the live chat, which so far is just Hassan, he said I did another review earlier today. I'll be sure to check that out. Only the ending was dope. He'll give it a C+. Okay, that's a good grade I give for tonight's episode of SmackDown. Thank you for doing that. So as always, guys, participate in the live chat as well. If you follow me on Twitter, also participate also in the polls. I have 3 polls going tonight for what grade would you give SmackDown tonight, which shows you more as we Raw or SmackDown Live, and also based off of what happened at the end of tonight's show, I also posted the poll of, do you think Daniel Bryan is going to be wrestling at WrestleMania 34? The answer is going to be either yes, 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 or no, no, no. But getting back to the review, though, let's get right into this review. And we're going to talk about this episode of SmackDown Live, which took place from Indianapolis tonight, which I got mentioned also. I find it weird how we were just in Columbus and Michigan like the past couple of days. We're in Indianapolis. We're going to be going down to Dallas, Texas next week, just to come back up here to go to Cleveland next Monday. The following Monday, and here in Pittsburgh on Tuesday. What's up, though? Why not just stay in the air? Or, just why not having, like in Cleveland and Pittsburgh next week, and then whatever, make your way down to New Orleans. I just thought that was weird how we're going all the way back down to Texas just to come back up here the following week. Weird scheduling. But I tried to get that little nitpick out of there real quickly. But yeah, so let's get right into it again. This, decent to solid episode of SmackDown we had tonight. So we start off with an announcement that AJ Styles an announcement that Shane McMahon is going to make later on tonight regarding WrestleMania. So I was intrigued to see what that was going to be. And it definitely was a good segment, and I loved it. So then first, though, getting to AJ Styles, we had him make his way out to the arena, and he gets on the mic and he welcomes us, of course, to SmackDown Live, the house that AJ Styles built. And he admitted the odds were stacked against him, and he thought the odds were really against him whenever John Cena put him through the commentary table. He knew he was in trouble, and then he wasn't sure if he was going to be able to beat the other 5 superstars, but unbelievably, it was not impossible, and he did it. We've all heard our parents say to us when we fall down, they say, suck it up and get back in the game. And he found the way, and he got to retain his WWE championship. In the six-pack challenge. He'll admit he hasn't forgotten where he came from, and it wasn't that long ago that the rumblings of AJ Styles coming to WWE were pretty unbelievable. Styles says becoming WWE champion, unbelievable. And now going to WrestleMania as WWE champion, yeah, unbelievable, not impossible. He's on his road to New Orleans has been a tough one, of course. He starts getting the "you deserve it" chance. He points out though, he says, "Hold on a minute, I earned it." And then he continues saying the man that he'll be standing across from is probably the biggest Japanese superstar in WWE history. No other than Shinsuke Nakamura. Nakamura comes in. Well, actually, first, Styles said he wanted to give to us, and he has the utmost respect for Nakamura for following a similar path to WrestleMania and getting to WWE. But when it comes to the title, those comparisons stop. He's no different in the WWE universe. Call him the everyman, but that only goes until he steps through these ropes and stands in front of us and is phenomenal. Nakamura comes out and tells AJ and that he's champion and everyone likes him. Everyone likes him too, and he respects Styles. But when WrestleMania, dreams come true. And he says his dream is a knee to the face and becoming world champion. Out will come Rusev, and then it sets us up for AJ Styles. So I guess from what it looks, probably gonna get some type of build similar to what we got for John Cena and Shawn Michaels for WrestleMania 23, which that was all right. I can definitely give it what it was. So I'll I'm like, all right, cool. We'll go with that then. To keep the face on face match, and I still think it's gonna be. We had AJ Styles versus Rusev. Not a bad match. Still good. Despite the fact that it seemed that, Rusev continues to get thrown in these situations where WWE is trying to get us to boo him and not like him since Rusev Day is getting so over. But you're not going to go for it. But I'll give it that AJ and Rusev had a good match. A lot of good back and forth action there. See the few times that Rusev was going to get the overhand on Styles with a couple of nice kicks to the head, and he almost got him in the accolade. And then towards the end of the match, when Styles was about to put Rusev in the calf crusher, he was struggling to get him off the ropes, and then he reversed it and got him into the calf crusher. But Aiden English came running into the ring and started beating down on Styles just to get disqualified. And then Nakamura had stuck around and sat. He wasn't on commentary, but he didn't speak or anything. But he sat there. He slowly got up and was wondering, is he going to go in or not? Like, make the decision. Like, what are you going to do? But then he finally gets in, and he takes out English and hits a Kinshasa on Rusev. And then he leaves AJ in the ring to recover on his own. So, all right, again, like I said, still probably getting this a build similar to John Cena and Shinsuke Nakamura. He said, "Empress versus guys. W needs to stop interrupting women with men. Charlotte and Asuka." Oh yes, I'll definitely mention that as well. I thought that was weird that they did that. I don't understand why they did that. Thanks for bringing that up, Hassan. That was definitely something that kind of bothered me about the show because they did it for the second week in a row. But yeah, we'll definitely get to that. Thank you for bringing that up. Just checking the polls again really quick here. Good. We're still rolling with this. Awesome. Anyway, so we get to afterwards. We have Big E walking around backstage. He's interviewed about what happened at Fastlane and how he's gonna be in a unique tag match tonight against the Bludgeon Brothers. It's gonna be the Bludgeon Brothers taking on the remains of who was not defeated completely at Fastlane, but by that beatdown by the Bludgeon Brothers. And Big E says he wishes he could say they proved the Usos wrong and was standing here with Kofi and Xavier figuring out a plan to fill Corey Graves' rental car with pancakes, but the Bludgeon Brothers happen. As long as he has two working legs, he's going to hold down his brothers and represent the New Day. Jimmy Uso rolls up and says Big E won't be standing alone. Right before the Bludgeon Brothers got involved, they were putting on a classic, which wasn't completely a classic. It was a little weird. When they're all healthy, they'll do it again. But for now, they're going to take care of business and say fist bump together. So it was going to be Jimmy Uso and Big E. The only remains from New Day, and the Usos taking on the Bludgeon Brothers coming out. So I'm like, okay. And even though I'm not a fan of this being a triple threat, we're going to get how many triple threat matches at WrestleMania? I'm like, all right, this is fine with me. So this could be a pretty good match. And I continued to enjoy what they're doing. Then we got another video package for Kid Rock being inducted into the Hall of Fame. Whatever. Again, we've already talked about that last night. And we see AJ walking around backstage, and he sees Shinsuke Nakamura. He tells him he doesn't need his help. He didn't need a fast lane. He doesn't need it tonight either. And Nakamura says he didn't look like he needed help, but he's going to help him every time until WrestleMania, when he'll beat him with a knee to the face. So we got that. And then we had Big E and Jimmy Uso make their entrances, and then the Bludgeon Brothers come out. Of course, I noticed also tonight they cut off a couple seconds of the Bludgeon Brothers entrance. So I'm like, here we go again, trimming off another beginning of a theme song. We've done it too. Let me see here. We did today with Tommy's entrance been trimmed off. Carmella's was trimmed off. Who else? There's a couple others. Finn Balor's, all these entrances are like the beginnings are getting shorter and shorter. It's like, what is up with this? Let me see. Rusev Day, Hassan, comment in my videos, please. Need to talk. Okay. Hello. Anyways, we had getting back to the match between the Bludgeon Brothers and Big E and Jimmy Uso. They're walking down with their hammers as first Uso and Big E took the fight to the Bludgeon Brothers, starting to beat them down, and then they put them aside and they got inside about ready to get started, but they headed out, and Big E and Jimmy Uso grabbed steel chairs, and the Bludgeon Brothers grabbed their hammers, and then the referee, which is Danilo Anfibio, as it says right here, just ran out of the ring like so fast. He's like, okay, I want nothing to do with this. It ran out of there because he's probably scared to death, and they run their opponents off, but Big E and Jimmy got broken off from going back in and trying to fight them, and we got sent to break before coming back, and we had the match between Big E, Jimmy Uso, and the Bludgeon Brothers. I gotta say also, again, the promo that Big E cut as tonight, again, just continues to show me that whenever they do decide to split up the New Day, I do strongly believe that Big E is going to have a great singles career. And I think he could be a good singles heel wrestler as well. He has the mic skills, he has the wrestling. I think he would make an awesome singles heel. I even back in 2013, 2014, when he has run with the Intercontinental title, I'm like, this guy has so much potential as a singles wrestler. I definitely want to see him with the world title someday. And of course, they, pretty much he disappeared after he lost the title to Bad News Barrett at Extreme Rules in 2014, but then they did nothing with him until they put him with the New Day. But I definitely think Xavier Woods and Kofi Kingston definitely improved a lot. But I definitely see Big E being a possible, world champion someday as well. But anyways, so when the match actually started, the match wasn't too long, but it was basically, for the most part, another big beat down by the Bludgeon Brothers. There was no weapons involved in it this time, but eventually, the Usos Jimmy Uso had a nice little sequence on him. Like Big E got some offense there. I think Jimmy Uso was the one that definitely looked stronger than Big E in this match when they teamed up together. They had a couple of super kicks, but then they had the upper hand on him, and then they hit that double crucifix slam, the Brody bomb, or they called to get the win. And afterwards, because they already had beaten down Jimmy, they went out and they just finished off Big E as well. So just another brutal beatdown but with the weapons involved. Now I think the Lex Man and my one good friend Daniel guys have mentioned this also. I kind of hope that maybe, just maybe, we will get a triple threat TLC match between these three teams: the Usos, the New Day, and the Bludgeon Brothers. Ooh, Again, I would rather just see just, the Usos and the Bludgeon Brothers. But with those three teams, that TLC match, take my money. You got me sold on that for WrestleMania as well. As most of these WrestleMania matches so far are having me sold and looking forward to there. So then we got a recap of what happened with Shane McMahon, Kevin Owens, and Sami Zayn at Fastlane, where, there have been tensions boiling a little bit between Sami and Kevin. And then with Shane McMahon at ringside, stuff happened, and Kevin accidentally kicked Shane in the face. And of course, Kevin costed both Owens and Zayn their then winning the title both times as well. So then we had first an interview from Sami Zayn. He says the idea of blame for last night is a loaded question, but the obvious answer is Shane McMahon. But the truth is, part of him can't blame Shane. Really, he blames Owens, because if it wasn't for Shane's obsession with Kevin Owens, he wouldn't have even been out there. He's guilt by association now, and although Kev is talented and has been there from outside the ring, when it comes to his career, he's just a self-absorbed egomaniac. He played everyone perfectly and was milliseconds away from being champion, and trust him when he says that a price he'll never pay again, not for Kevin Owens and not for anybody. So this led me to thinking, oh, well, what if because I predicted when I made my predicted card like a month or so ago for WrestleMania, what if it's like, Owens and Zayn each teaming up with either one teams up with Shane, one teams up with Daniel Bryan, and they take on each other in a tag match for WrestleMania instead of having it be, just, the rumor match with them, Shane and Daniel taking on Owens and Zayn. That is if Daniel Bryan will make it back in time for WrestleMania. But we'll see what happens as we get to later on tonight. But I thought it was a good interview cut by Sami Zayn. Yeah, then we had me thinking, well, oh, where we go with this? Where we going with this? I was interested. Then we had Charlotte make her entrance. She says, when you're a champion, you're always a target. And when Asuka came out the Fastlane, she did exactly what she was up to. Tonight, she wanted to make sure she was ready to meet Asuka in the center of the ring, women to women. Asuka comes in, and Charlotte welcomes her to SmackDown and says to be careful for what you wish for. Asuka thanks her, and Charlotte says she's traveled the world defending her title, and people say two things. One, congratulations, Charlotte, and two, what would happen if you faced Asuka? What would happen if the Queen went one-on-one with the Empress of Tomorrow? Who would bow down? We'll get the answer to that question at WrestleMania. Iron sharpens iron, and Charlotte knew from the moment Asuka won the Royal Rumble that she wanted the match against Asuka. So when the music hit Sunday, she got goosebumps because she knew it was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. She's never faced anyone like Asuka, and Asuka's never faced anyone like her. So WrestleMania, be careful what you wish for, because she's going to end the streak and cement her legacy. And Asuka mentions again, like she did the other night, on Raw, she chose Charlotte because she likes a challenge, and Flair is the queen. But she's the Empress. Asuka bows down to no one because, as I might say, nobody is ready for Asuka. And they stare each other down. It was a good promo. Again, I was wondering for instance, maybe they may attempt maybe to turn Charlotte heel or whatnot, because I listened to a short little interview last night I found with Charlotte talking about the current situation of what happened when she came up to the main roster, and how she felt that she wasn't quite connecting with the crowd, and she didn't want to be a babyface at first when she came up, because she felt that in order for the crowd to get to know who Charlotte is besides just her being Ric Flair's daughter, she felt that she had to go to turn heel, because that's what she naturally was in NXT. So that's why I thought, okay, maybe they'll have Charlotte turn heel here or whatnot. But it was like, so we just a face-on-face match. Just the Queen wanting to cement her legacy, and Asuka, just wanting to become champion, and she wants to do it by beating the best on the roster. Really, she's beating everyone on the roster except for like Charlotte, but no one else is on really Charlotte's level. So I definitely wouldn't blame her for wanting to go after her. To choose Charlotte instead of Alexa. So hopefully, even after next week, we're going to be getting that match with Alexa and Asuka. Hopefully after next week, Charlotte will not be going on Raw, because I don't get at this point, why would she be going on Raw if, her opponent is on SmackDown? Well, she had to prove on Raw. She's beaten everybody. It doesn't make sense for her to just keep going back and forth, in my opinion. So yeah, so that was that promo. But then, as Hassan mentioned in the live chat, and this bothered me also, as I mentioned it on Twitter, Randy Orton's music hits while Charlotte and Asuka are both still in the ring. Why, for the second week in a row, are we having a male superstar interrupt a women's segment, like come out like while the women are still in the ring? It just looks very awkward. Like, I don't know if they're trying to, cut time or something like that, but it seems weird. Like, Orton was making his way out to the ring. It's obviously just going to be on commentary for the match that we were being hyped up for. I'm so excited to talk about as it starts to boil up in me. And we get here. So yes, I was not a fan of that, of just Orton coming out like that while the women were still in there. It just felt awkward. But let's put it this way. This feud for the U.S. title could have been a lot better if one person was not involved in it. And it's not Randy Orton. And if Randy Orton is still no offense, as my friend I would call him when he's boring, Blandy Borton. If he's going to be that way because of this feud, I do not blame him at all. This feud should just have been himself and Bobby Roode, with one of them turning heel, going to the next level for WrestleMania. But nope. Let's talk about what happened with this. Hassan's leaving. He's going to bed. Good night, buddy. Happy Rusev Day to you as well. I'll talk to you tomorrow or whenever you come on next, man. But anyways, so Orton gets on the mic and he's saying he's been called many things over the course of his career. Some good, some not so good. But the one thing he's never been called ever until now is United States Champion. Winning this title puts him on a short list of elite superstars that are Grand Slam champions, and that's a list he actually cares about. Bobby Roode proved to be one hell of a competitor at Fastlane, and he earned Orton's respect, but the title is his now. The U.S. title is his, and he's taking the title to WrestleMania, and nobody's going to stop him. Bobby Roode came out as he was going to be having a match. He got on the mic and congratulated Orton and said he got him, but he gets a rematch. And he wants to have that rematch at WrestleMania. And when he regains the title, it's going to be absolutely glorious. At this point, I'm like, so we're really not going to turn either one of these guys heel. Because this feud should just be one-on-one. But no. And ladies and gentlemen, if you haven't noticed yet, the shirt I am wearing, if I can get my voice clear enough. I'm afraid to have a squeal. Take two. I'm afraid I've got some bad news. You see, my viewers, the next man who came out for the match against the glorious Bobby Roode is just continuing to dig under my skin. And I am just getting sick and tired of the WWE giving this man opportunity because he sucks. My way better voice did not go over as planned. But yeah, I had to do that. But anyways, so yes, Jinder Mahal makes his way out because he has to be involved in the feud because he's freaking Jinder Mahal, the man who WWE last year put the WWE Championship on after he was barely even the main event of the show, main event on Raw, put him on SmackDown, and all of a sudden, he's a main eventer. He's contending for the WWE Championship. And he beat Randy Orton the same way every single time. With a distraction from the Singh brothers, Orton takes them all out on the outside of the ring, gets back in the ring, just runs right into a Colossus. 1, 2, 3. We saw it every single time. And the return of the freaking great Khali. He goes on to just, completely run down Shinsuke Nakamura, cutting those awful promos about his face. It just showing that Jinder Mahal is a guy that, we're not going to want, as my friend Dan says, we're not going to pay to want to see him get beat. We don't even want to see the man show up. Jinder Mahal comes out and cuts a promo. So a few weeks ago, he was trying to get underneath their skins because, Bobby Roode is higher than Randy Orton on that stupid top 10 list. Just like how it was stupid of him to come out there and he was trying to upset Shinsuke Nakamura back in their Hell in a Cell build by making fun of his face on a Titantron 3 times, 3 segments last year. So now this one is him trying to provoke the fact that Randy Orton's been around for how many years and he's finally won the U.S. title, and then Bobby Roode's only been around for how long in the WWE and he's already won it. It's like a bully in school who goes in there and he thinks he's so tough. He's so tough. He thinks he can, upset you so easily by just trying to pick on you and look so tough. And then just, saying some of the stuff that everybody just sits there, laughs at you and goes, "Is that the best you got? Is that the best you got?" Well, guess what? That is freaking Jinder Mahal. And this is the guy that WWE freaking Road Dogg. This is the only time in this show where I actually tweeted hashtag Fire Road Dogg because I am sick and tired of the WWE giving Jinder Mahal these opportunities when he continues to cut crapload promos like that. Seriously, why does the WWE and Road Dogg continue to give him opportunities? I'm sorry, he did not succeed with that WWE Championship run. He did not. It was only built around that stupid tour in India when the guy was not even from India himself, was the character. Why do we have to give the title to him? Like, why couldn't we give, Curtis Axel that opportunity? Or, Sami Zayn, Rusev, The Miz, somebody else? Why freaking Jinder Mahal? It doesn't make any sense, and it's driving me nuts. I've said how many times before, someone to me who has white heat, and no offense if you're a fan of her, Stephanie McMahon. Because the problem was I got tired of her coming on TV constantly for the past few years and constantly just, burying superstars verbally, and they have no one gets their comeuppance on her unless it's at WrestleMania. But I'll put it this way, Stephanie can at least cut a pretty good promo. She is a good heel. Yes, she does the same thing sometimes over and over for so long, and that's when people, get sick of it and want to see on TV. Jinder Mahal is at the point where I would much rather see Stephanie McMahon beliterate talent again and not get their comeuppance. I'd rather see that happen than freaking Jinder Mahal get another opportunity. And the WWE is going to give him a WrestleMania match. He beat Bobby Roode in another match. What's new whatsoever. But so now we're going to be getting a triple threat match at WrestleMania with Randy Orton and Bobby Roode as the babyfaces taking on Jinder Mahal. This whole feud is centered around Jinder Mahal. Why? What did this man do to earn this WrestleMania opportunity? If they would have had the Honor John Memorial Battle Royal on the pre-show, he was in that. Fine. Even though I wasn't a fan of him being runner-up last year, but fine. But you're going to put him in the middle of a feud between two guys who actually do deserve it, Bobby Roode and Randy Orton, and it's going to. I don't get it. I seriously don't get it. I just snap every time he comes out. I polish off these middle fingers, give him the double bird because I just can't stand this guy constantly getting opportunities when there's so many people that deserve opportunities. And instead, you're going to center a whole feud around him making stupid promos about, "Oh, you've been around for how long? You finally won the U.S. title, and you were only here for a few months, and you got it." You're talking to a guy who doesn't even need the U.S. title to be considered a Hall of Famer. I mean, yes, Randy Orton deserves to be a Grand Slam champion, but you're literally thinking, no, that's going to bother Randy Orton that much if he doesn't win the U.S. title. Really? Come on. It shows that the character comes across as stupid, and I just don't want to see him on my TV anymore. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to. That's right. Jinder already made the list last year, so I can't put him on again. Unless if I decide to do so. But guys, I had to get that out of the way. That's my only rant. for the for this review I really had. So, with that case, let me quote Frank Costanza here from Seinfeld. Serenity now. Serenity now. Okay. Let's move on now and talk about the rest of the show. But I actually also thank you to Randy Orton also, who RKO'd this freaking suck-ass idiot after the match. So thank you, Randy, for doing that. But anyways, we didn't have Kevin Owens walking backstage and he's being interviewed. He says Sami Zayn wasn't so selfish. He'd see he wasn't the only one who got screwed over. In fact, KO got screwed over first. And then if he didn't get screwed over, Sami wouldn't have gotten screwed over. If he hadn't been screwed first, he complains about Sami offering to lie down for him and not doing, and calls him a liar and a manipulator. If he wasn't so delusional and he'd see this, he's a rightful champion, and it's all because of Shane McMahon trying to steal a spotlight. Why did he even need to be at ringside anyways? They didn't need him, and if Sami can't see McMahon for what he really is, he has no problem teaching Sami a lesson, opening his eyes up to the truth. Again, get me wondering what's going to happen with Mania. And then we had a video packages talking about the Fabulous Moolah Memorial Battle Royal in memory of the Fabulous Moolah. Now, anybody who's in the live chat, or no, well, probably not because Hassan went to bed. But here's a question I got for my viewers. Because, again, as a late bloomer WWE fan, I don't know everything. But during the show, it was brought to my attention also by my good friend Daniel Geisa. That apparently, the Fabulous Moolah was known for, making a push for the WWE to bring in women to be more as sex symbols, pretty much signifying what happened with the Divas division years ago and how she went in control of it and put a dark mark because, these women came in to wrestle and she didn't want anybody to be on her level. So I'm kind of wondering this. Are you upset at all? Like, how do you feel now this being called the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royale? Because if this is a woman who's actually, tried to, control and, put down the women's talents, that way nobody could top off her, then I definitely agree there. I don't think this should be called the Fabulous Moolah Battle Royale. But if you have a different name for it, leave that down in the comment section below. Like, who should it be named after? Honestly, I'm not sure. Alundra Blaze, Trish Stratus, or Lita? I mean, I don't really know who else he could really give it to. I mean, there's no one else who's really dead as far as I know. China. Name it the China Memorial Battle Royale. That's what I think should happen. Let me text that to Dan right now. Let me send that text. Because I think I just came up with a good name. Random, but I could definitely say that. But yeah, leave your thoughts also on that as well. I just wanted to throw that out there because we talked about that video package. And then we had a match with Carmella taking on Naomi. Carmella had a handicap promo. Dan agreed. Carmella talked about entering herself into Battle Royal and calls herself the modern day Moolah. And she says, you never know what other surprise you can get at WrestleMania as well, holding up her Money in the Bank briefcase. And this match with Naomi, was what it was. Decent, nothing really great, nothing really terrible. Just I guess they're finally going to give Carmella some more momentum going into WrestleMania, as she's probably got to cash in sooner or later. Some people said they've heard that Carmella may fail to cash in, which I don't think should happen. I mean, I'd be fine if she cashed on the Raw Women's Championship, even if they want to have, Carmella and Nia Jax feud on Raw afterwards, if they want to go with that. We could see that. I can see that possibly happening as well. But I don't want to see both Money in the Bank winners from last year fail their cash in. I want to see Carmella succeed or cash in. I mean, it would be something if she cashed in on the SmackDown Women's Championship, but I don't see that happening with, Asuka and Charlotte being involved. But got that. Wasn't too bad of a match. And then we got our last segment of the night, which was Shane McMahon coming out as he has a huge announcement for WrestleMania. So Shane McMahon comes out and he says he has had his issues with Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and he's not here to apologize. Owens brutally beat his father down in the middle of the ring. That led to him wrestling Owens inside Hell in a Cell, and he's about to get his moment of revenge before Sami Zayn stole it from him, and that's led to months of his emotions going bonkers, and every time he looked at them, just perhaps led him to decisions unbecoming the commissioner of SmackDown. So he had a conversation with Daniel Bryan, who will be back next week, but he'll be going at it alone because effective immediately at the end of the night, Shane is taking an indefinite leave of absence as commissioner. And, he's about to, to leave, but then he makes an announcement that due to the stuff they said earlier tonight, he's making a match for WrestleMania, Kevin Owens taking on Sami Zayn. So I'm like, okay, that's not going to be the actual match. It's going to lead to something bigger than that. There's no way it's going to be just Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn at WrestleMania. Like, if they were going to do that just based off of that, I feel like, the storyline isn't quite there just between the two of them. I mean, yes, there is some tension brewing between them, but the storyline was not quite there for it to be a WrestleMania-worthy match, in my opinion. Maybe a B pay-per-view, but not WrestleMania match. But he made the match, and I'm like, okay, we're starting to set something up here. This can't be it, though. Owens comes out to respond. He says that's finally a decision he agrees with and wishes Shane the best of luck in his future endeavors. As far as the match goes, he can beat Sami anytime he wants. He doesn't have to wait until WrestleMania. Then Sami comes in. And I'm like, okay, are they going to pull a swerve here? Like, what's going to happen with this? Like, I'm really invested and intrigued to see what's going to happen. He stops and looks at Owens for a second, and he gets to the ring and tells McMahon he's just doing this because it makes him so happy to hear the people cheer like crazy when him and KO beat the hell out of each other at Fastlane. And if he's going to base all those decisions on what these people think, thank God he's leaving. Shane mentions that he's baffled. He just gave them both an opportunity to face each other at WrestleMania. He gave them a WrestleMania match. And Owens says they appreciate that, and he'll appreciate this too. And then Shane, who's facing Owens, got hit from behind by Sami Zayn. And the both of them just, pretty much reignite, and they just beat the living crap out of Shane. Shane tries to get back up, and he goes to go for Zayn, but then Owens gets a reverse chin lock on him and takes him down. So he's pretty much doomed. They continue to beat down, and Kevin Owens steps up in the corner. Sami hits a haluva kick on him, and then Owens hits a pop-up powerbomb, and then the referees come out to try to stop them from doing what they were doing. But it didn't work, as they start beating down the referees as well. And then they continued, and then they put a steel chair around Shane's neck. I'm like, uh-oh, this isn't good. And then they grab Shane and they ram him into the post with the steel chair around his neck. It's the same way that Chris Jericho was written off the show by Kevin Owens right after Payback. Well, after the SmackDown after Payback last year. So he's already got his windpipe crushed. Then they start dragging Shane's body up the ramp and to the back through Gorilla. And they get him into the production area with a table and a computer. And they're like, oh, Shane, one more thing before you leave. And they pretty much hit a pop-up power bomb on him into some of the pallets. And Shane is groaning, and he's trying to get some air as he's wheezing, as Mike Chioda came over and called for the EMTs. And Owens and Zayn just walk off, pretty much making their little farewell address to Shane, who said he was going to be going on a leave of absence. At first, I thought, okay, with them being down him, somebody's got to come out. But it didn't happen. But that somebody who could save him was not there that week. Now, there has been things with Shane McMahon and Daniel Bryan having some tension with each other recently. But it's obvious that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn are back on the same page. Will this lead to a Daniel Bryan in-ring return? Because honestly, here's my other question. If Daniel Bryan can't wrestle, who's going to team up with Shane? There's no doubt it's going to be Shane wanting to take out both Owens and Zayn. And yes, earlier in the night, Zayn had a good reason to, be upset with Kevin, saying if it wasn't for him he's provoked Shane to do. But same time with his career, he still doesn't want to do what the fans want him to do. He wants to do what he feels is right, and he still feels even if he was shot side with Shane McMahon, he still wouldn't. Everything would just be just the way it was before he turned heel. So there's no way, no chance that it's going to be what it was predicted. It's definitely going to be seven Owens. Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn teamed up against Shane McMahon and a mystery partner. And next week with Daniel Bryan going at it alone and, being the general manager, I'm pretty sure he's going to realize, okay, it's gone to a point where, you've disrespected Shane. I've given you opportunities, I've tried to get Shane, look at the bigger picture here, just, sell the score and not just keep, and not just keep doing what he's been doing to you guys. So I have no choice but to, take action on this. And yeah. So could this be leading to Daniel Bryan making his in-ring return? Nobody else is in the live chat, so I can't really ask anybody in the live chat. So I guess we'll wrap it up here. But before we go off the air, of course, I have 3 polls so far going on Twitter. And you may still participate in them after this live review. So the first question I have is, what grade would you give this week's episode of SmackDown Live? 33 votes. Wow, thank you guys. 24% said A, 36% said B, 18% said C, 22% said D. Pretty good results there, guys. I like that. 33 votes. 11 votes. Wow, I can't talk tonight. Votes for what show in WWE did you enjoy more this week? Raw or SmackDown Live? 11 votes. 45% said Raw and 55% said SmackDown Live. Okay, more people favored SmackDown. And my final question, and this is how I'm going to end this show. Do you think Daniel Bryan will wrestle at WrestleMania 34? And my choices are, we had 20 votes for this. My choices are yes, 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 or no, no, no. In my mind, in my heart, I'm hoping yes, yes, yes. But I'm not getting my hopes up. But this has to set up. Because honestly, who else at this point is going to team with Shane McMahon? Who? 20 votes so far. And so far, 55% are saying yes, yes, yes. And 45% are saying no, no, no. So far, it's like, 50-50, but the above average still think it's going to be yes. So my grade for this week's episode of SmackDown Live is a B-. Solid show. Definitely could have been better. Had its down points. Of course, I had my rant on Jinder. Yeah, I did that again. Sorry, guys. But I still thought we had a pretty solid show tonight, and I was happy with it. And, B-. I'll give the edge to Raw, though. I enjoyed Raw just a little bit more this week, in my opinion. But SmackDown, bravo, you gave a solid showing tonight as well. I was impressed. As far as my answer for where Daniel Bryan is going to be wrestling at WrestleMania 34 or not, in my opinion, I want to say yes after what happened tonight, but I don't want to get my hopes up. But I will still go with the yes. 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 Undertaker is probably going to be returning also, and we'll see Daniel Bryan. Actually, well, no, I will save this for Road to WrestleMania this week to talk about the rumor about the Undertaker and how he will be wrestling at WrestleMania 34, which I think makes sense. So, what grade would you guys give this week's episode of SmackDown Live? Your thoughts down in the comment section below. What shows you enjoy more, Raw or SmackDown Live? Do you think Daniel Bryan's returning or not? You can answer my Twitter polls. You may also leave your comments in the comment section below. And also, actually, just for the heck of it, is I read on it. Are you getting sick of Jinder Mahal getting these opportunities as well? What is your honest opinion about Jinder Mahal? I just made an honest opinion video about Roman Reigns. Maybe I'll make another honest opinion video. Since Hassan the Mighty suggested me to do a rant video, I think I'll do a rant video on Jinder Mahal. So maybe I'll do that. Maybe I will. But leave thoughts down in the comment section below as always. Be sure to click my like and subscribe for more content coming to the channel. And you may follow me on Twitter as always at DemandAirboy93. So the rest of this week, we have NXT Live Review tomorrow. And then we got WWE, not Top 10 Topics, Road to WrestleMania episode 28 this week also. I'll try to do another special live stream, but I do have a little bit busy end of the week this week. So I'll see if I'm able to do that. If not, then probably no special live stream this week. Hopefully next week, though. But yep, guys, with that, thank you all again for tuning in. Again, do the same, all I suggested before. And yep, that is it. I'm checking out. So until tomorrow night, guys, have a great night.